What is happening, everyone? My name is Justin Woodward, co-founder of the Mix, the Media Indie Exchange, as well as an advisor on the Black Game Developer Fund and co-founder of Black Voices in Gaming. We want to welcome you to the Mix Presents Black Voices in Gaming, which is a showcase and now nonprofit organization that celebrates and accelerates Black developers and creatives in the game industry. We have two amazing guest hosts for the show this morning who will be on the ones and twos. My friend and co-founder of Burnout Brighter, Destiny Cleveland, an independent developer and founder of Waking Oni Games, Derek Fields. I wanted to start off by saying thank you for joining us, and we want to thank our partners Twitch, Valve, IGN, and GameSpot for teaming up with us on this broadcast. You guys are awesome, and it means a lot. With that said, let's turn it over to Destiny and Derek and start the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Black Voices in Gaming showcase. I'm so excited to be here. Jay, thank you so much for that introduction. Guys, my name is Destiny, and you may know me from the Burnout Brighter podcast, where we talk about gaming, mental health, social justice, and all things nerdy. But before we jump into this showcase, I'm going to just throw my mic over to my incredible co-host and let him introduce himself.
Hey everyone, and thank you for being patient with us. I'm pleased to be joining Destiny and you all for another excellent Black Voices in Gaming segment. My name is Derek Fields, and I'm the founder and director of Waking Oni Games. There, we create titles that explore cultural intersections while bringing the family around the couch. For those of you who are students, you can find me teaching game design and 3D modeling at Northwestern University here in Chicago. Now, let's get this show started.
That was a really good introduction. Good job. But guys, let me just tell you a little bit about the Mix if it's your first time coming here. Black Voices in Gaming was created in June of 2020 during the protests and demonstrations that united us worldwide. We have been working hard to transform Black Voices in Gaming from a broadcast showcase into a movement. We not only share developers' games, but we've also become a nonprofit organization that helps to accelerate the growth of professional game developers. Our mission is to facilitate a space where game studio entrepreneurs can access funding, publishing, press, mentors, and all the things that they require the need to succeed.
Absolutely. We'd also like to give a shout out to our partners for today's showcase, Raw Fury, who helped get the series started and assisting with funding for the series throughout the year, PlayStation, Indie Game Dev Boost, ID at Xbox, and Razer. Some of our broadcasting partners include Twitch Gaming, Steam, IGN, and GameSpot. As far as our Steam event page, don't forget to check out the Mix on the Steam event page, where you can learn more about Black Voices in Gaming titles, buy the available games, or add them to your wish list. Wish lists always help game devs a ton.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Derek. Now let's go ahead and jump into the show. We have our first amazing guest, Adam Kareem, the great mind behind Proto-Droid Delta. Hello.
Oh my goodness. I'm on the stream. Hello, people.
Great to have you here.
Thanks, Destiny. I'm loving your energy. I'm loving your hair. You know why?
Thank you.
Delta is like purple, and there's like a purple kind of aesthetic overall to the game and just the promotion for it. So we're in the vibe right now.
That's why I did it. That's why I did it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Did it.
I just Well, it's great to have you here. We kind of want to jump right into it because I want to know more about you. I'm sure our guests want to know more about you, how you got started, like what got you inspired. Tell us all about it.
Oh man, I got started in games. So I've been making games for about 5 years now. For full disclosure, I'm like an old man. I'm like 35. I got 2 kids, and I've got enough.
Stop your mouth.
No. I'm just saying, because I don't folks feel like, oh, he's making games for 5 years. What is he, like 24? Like, nah, homie. I pay a lot in taxes every year. I'm an adult man. But yeah, I got my start because at work one day, like a friend of mine had just mentioned that, like I saw him kind of designing what looked like a game, and I was like, "How are you doing that?" And he was like, "Oh, it's this thing called game engines that you can just use." And I was like, "What?" you mean you don't have to work at Square or like Ubisoft or EA to make video games?
Mm,
And so I kind of learned from that about like Unreal Engine and Unity, and I've always kind of desired to see like a really good like Sonic the Hedgehog game in like 3D. Like I felt like after the couple of Sonic Adventure games, the 3D transition wasn't all that smooth. You know what I'm saying, for like a long time, and
mm.
so I was like, okay, with Unreal, you know, like it's got like a lot of tools that can take someone like me who doesn't necessarily know how to program like in C++ or any languages, and can design using the Blueprint system. And I kind of got my start doing that, just like making fan games for different like IP that I loved as a kid, and kind of wished made that jump to 3D really well. So I made like Sonic, a Sonic fan game called Sonic Explorers, which plays actually pretty similar to like Sonic Frontiers based on like the revealed trailers. But that's a fan game made like 3 or 4 years ago. And then from there I made like a Mega Man X fan game, which ultimately became Proto-Droid Delta, which we're working on now. A Mega Man Legends fan game, and then last like an Ape Escape game called Tough Stuff. It's very silly. The idea
Oh,
is
that's
that
cute.
yeah, the idea is that they have these stuffed animals who become magically imbued and become alive, and they become aggressive. And so they're like tough
Oh,
stuffed animals. It's the
I
name
like
Tough
that though. That's super cute.
Yeah, so that's what I did. And so yeah, and so that's kind of what got my start. That's how I got my start in making games, fan games, Unreal Engine blueprints, and just hoping, just this desire or thought that I could make something that I hadn't yet seen made, and I was hoping that developers could make at some point. Yeah.
No, I think that's incredible. And like the fact that you saw someone doing it and you were like, I'm just gonna jump on here and make games myself. Like I've
Oh,
always found that overwhelming, but like props to you because you've
I,
made like several games and
I think it's
I
because
love
I'm a
all of
nut.
the inspiration. You're
I
no.
appreciate
Well,
that,
I mean
Jen. I think
like
it's because
we all gotta
I
be a
mean,
little bit
yeah, there it
wild on
is.
that.
Yeah, all I gotta do is a little bit. It's like normal people don't do this. Like normal people don't be like, oh, it's 2 a.m. Time to keep making this project. It's like normal people are on Netflix at 2 a.m. Normal people are sleeping at 2 a.m. And so yeah, you got to be a little bit of a nut. But it's a good nut. It's like a macadamia
Yo,
nut. You know?
I have to
Well,
macadamia
thank
nut. I had to
Yeah.
jump in real quick.
I was about to
Um,
introduce you. I'm sorry, Justin. We got
yeah, no, it's
excited.
all good. Adam came in hot. Thank you guys for being so patient. It is amazing to have you. I know you have an announcement to make, and I think you
Oh,
should make that announcement on air.
oh man,
Yeah.
you're a good guy, Justin. So, the long story short is I recently signed a publishing deal with Humble Games. Protozoid Delta will be published by Humble Games. I had to keep quiet about that for a few days. It was really hard. Like I was like avoiding Discord, avoiding like socials, so I didn't like slip up and pull a Tom Holland and like kind of spill the beans. Um, but yeah, I've
Tom
been working
Holland.
on
That's
I've worked on the game for like 2.5 years now, and just started with a Kickstarter, and then after Humble really took the strong initiative to start the BGDF, the Black Game Developer Fund, being one of the first recipients of that was like just talking about to the moon. I was just like thrilled just with that. But they continue to believe in the project. They continue to support me, and I can't understate like the support Justin's been giving me all along the way. Like it's a lot of things happen. It's like that phrase is like, if I see far, it's because I stand on the shoulders of giants. Well, I definitely am standing on like Justin's giant shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Himself, Tony Barnes, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like Sean Alexander, like all the guys like on this like Discord we've got. And even just to propping me up and supporting. And so it's just been like a lot of sort of like very fortuitous things. Meeting John Polson. He used to be with the organization. Now he supported and believed in it. And yeah, it was cool to see like what started as a fan project that I just really wanted to scratch a creative itch as his getting into following, gain some professional support, and now Humble Games is publishing it. Like I don't know, it's kind of like a fairy tale. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know. I feel like it's a fairy tale. I'm very happy this morning. I'm like very happy.
you're always
So, yeah,
happy, man.
yeah,
You're always
I know. So I'm
happy.
always happy, but like I'm like more happy today. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always happy, but like now I'm like
As you
here.
should be.
Welcome back,
Yeah, well,
Derek.
Welcome. Yeah, I'm back from the ether. I'm back from the ether to say, let's kick this game up. I would be really interested to demonstrate some of Proto-Droid Delta on the stream if we're ready to jump into some of that.
Ooh, yeah, I'd love to see that.
Awesome. Before we go though, I want to talk a little bit about like the Black Game Developer Fund, if we can, because I think it was very instrumental. You were instrumental in the Black Game Developer Fund, and I know that Destiny was about to introduce me as, you know, one of the advisors on it. But yeah, I mean, it's been a crazy journey, like just working with Humble to start like the pipeline for that. You know, they have been very helpful and resourceful, you know, in the community, in the culture, like supporting Black developers in general, and then Black developers with this fund, and then really allowing folks to contribute to how everything would come together. And Adam was one of the first people that I reached out to, or, you know, for participation in this fund, and he's been amazing to work with and has been collaborative, communicative, and congrats on, you know, getting your game published, because you worked really hard at it, and you've been a like a pillar of light in the community.
Oh man, this is such
That was really sweet.
What a warm show. Man, I appreciate you, Justin. Yeah, man, I appreciate you, man. This is cool, man. Oh man. You know what? Oh man, I don't know what to say. Destiny, I feel like we're friends. Derek, you were in the ether, so we haven't quite connected, but soon you and I will have a bond the bond of me and Justin, and it will be, it's like two hands.
Me and my giant shoulders. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna back out. I want you guys to really like jump in, talk about the game, and play. I'll see you guys in a bit.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks for stopping by, Justin. And thanks for bringing up Humble Bundle and like all of those amazing things. And that's incredible. Like, kudos to you. Like, Adam, that's amazing. So I know it's probably like a dream come true, but one of the questions I want to ask, and one of the things that piqued my interest the most, was the fact that you have a female protagonist.
Oh yeah, that was really important for me.
Tell us about that.
So like one of the big motivations for Protojoy Delta was like creating a game with characters of people who don't normally see themselves in gaming, right? And so it's like I was like, as I was designing the characters and stuff and trying to figure things out, like I realized, like, you know, it's, if you look at like certain games that have rosters like over like 70 characters, something like that, and only like 3 or 4 are like people of color, for example, right? And it's like, that's kind of weird.
Right.
There's usually more animal mascots than there are like people who have brown or black skin, right? And it's like, that's kind of silly. And then if you look at like, and I decided when making like a Mega Man inspired game, if you look at the vast history of like Mega Man games, it's like over 35 or 32 titles. And throughout like on hundreds of characters, and I think there's like 3 female characters. You know, it's like a very small subset, and it's like, this kind of sucks. You know, that like you have like so many characters, so many opportunities to show different types of perspectives, different personalities, and it's just like you just dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was really important to create characters for folks who don't normally see themselves in gaming, and to put them front and center. You know, like one of the key aspects of the game is that the cast skews predominantly female. It's like 6-5 or 6-4, if I remember correctly. Where like, and like a lot of the key protagonists are female. So it's like Delta is female robot, and then her creator is female, her best friend Android. And I wanted to create a story where the central tension is usually not amongst a bunch of cliches, right? Where it's like oftentimes if you have female characters, the central story theme is around some male, or like some love interest, or some sort of
right.
like their values kind of attached to how desirable they are to a guy. And I was like, no, it'd be cool if like it's just a couple of women who are beefing with each other, you know what I'm saying? Or people who have different perspectives on how to solve a problem, and how they sort of like resolve that, you know? And so, yeah, it was really important for me to create, again, this is that line, like create a game with characters for people who don't often see themselves in gaming. And that goes like a lot of ways. Like for example, Dr. Shelton, she wears a headscarf because, like, you know, I'm Muslim. I grew up around like Muslim women my entire life, and like and that's kind of how they look. You know, that's like my mom right there. That's my aunt. And you know, I grew up around like Latino folks, and you know, we're not often seen in like the lead roles in games. You look at like the Final Fantasies or often games coming from like overseas and stuff, and the most will be is like a side character or like maybe 2 side characters. You know what I'm saying? And that's
like
been
Barrett
recently.
from Final Fantasy.
It's not like Barrett. It's like Barrett. It represents
Yeah.
all of the people of color.
All the black people, yeah.
They gave y'all Barrett now.
That's
Stop
why.
talking.
That's why he's so buff. That's why he's so big. He's holding all the.
That's
black
true.
people.
That's
Exactly.
true.
It's like all of so yeah, I just wanted to get away from that, you know, and create an opportunity for folks. So the cast has got like 4 or 5 black characters, it's got 3 Latino characters, it's got an Asian female character, a white male character, and just like a good mix of stuff, you know. And so yeah, that was really important to me. Oh, Derek, so you
I'm
got
glad
a
you
whole
did that.
dash
There we
and then
go.
jump.
Yep.
There we go.
I got
Oh, he got it.
So don't judge me.
Almost
It's
got it.
okay.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna get it on the next one.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
that you brought that
Exactly, my
up.
parents.
Because I'm sorry. I was listening to you play the game, and then I was like, don't backseat game Destiny. Just let him do it. He can do it. But what I was going to say is I'm so glad that you brought that up and that you are so inclusive with diversity. So really quick question, slightly personal, but I know you said you have kids. Do you have girls?
I have a daughter, and it's really cool. Here's what happens: I have a daughter and a son, and I've been doing some character designs, working with like my artist Blaze Malefica on Twitter. She's been doing like the comic work, and my character illustrator Def Jews, at Def Jews on Twitter and ArtStation. And we did some like different designs for Delta and different hairstyles. And then my daughter walks up to the monitor, and she's like, "Dada, me," and she's like, "Me, like that's me." And that's what I kind of achieve with this, is for people who don't see themselves, you know, front and center as like the main driver, to see that and be like, that's me. And I almost teared up because it's like this is it. Like if the game just dies tomorrow, like this is it. You know what I'm saying? I've achieved really something amazing, that my daughter saw herself in a video game character. You know what I'm saying? That I'm committing so much of my time to, that millions of people hopefully will see at some point. And she just saw it and said, that's me. So yeah, I got a daughter.
No, that's incredible. I love that.
Thank you for sharing
Because
that.
growing up, I realized that my favorite characters were like characters that look kind of like me but weren't really like me, because
Right,
we just didn't
right.
have that. We didn't have that at all. So I was like, oh, my
Right.
favorite character is Jasmine. And then like the next Darkest Princess that came out was Pocahontas. So that was my favorite
Right,
character.
right.
You know what I mean? Until we got to Tiana. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But no, another question I wanted to ask, and then I'm going to throw it to Derek, is I love, you kind of talked about it, and I'm assuming that some of the cultures that inspired the look of the area comes from the people that you've grown up around and being Muslim, because you can definitely tell there's like a very special aesthetic to
Yeah.
the environment.
Oh yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Excellent.
Yeah, so like I stumbled upon this thing called solar punk, and I just ran with that. So like as I'm designing the game, I'm thinking to myself, it's got to be unique, right? It can't just be generic sci-fi kind of future setting. And so I'm going on Pinterest, and I suddenly see like what looks literally a concept art that literally designed this stage. It's a piece by Stephen Wong on ArtStation, and it's called like the Great Solar Bridge, right? Or the Solar Punk Bridge, he called it. And then I found about like this art competition that Adam Hawk did called Solar Punk Art Challenge, where it's like literally the opposite of like cyberpunk stuff. It's like a future in which like technology and people have grown together in harmony, and like you see like this wonderful blend of like natural elements and tech, all bolstered by like renewable energy and like a hopeful, more pleasant kind of future. So that just resonated with me, and I was like, there's so many games where it's like the setting is always like, it's a dystopia, the world sucks, everyone's in debt. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of humanity's dead except you and your cousin. You know, it's like, man, that's sad. Like, is that the only vision of the future that we have? Like, there's no other like interpretation of the future might be. And so that kind of drove things. On top of that, like, I've always kind of like thought it was cool when characters were just like, it is like who can use like long flowing clothing as like a tapestry, like a way of expressing themselves. And I find very often in games, particularly unfortunately, like female characters, they go the opposite direction. It's like you'll have a guy who's got like armor, like even his eyebrows are armored, and then you got a female character who's like literally her chest is out and stuff, and it's like that's just silly.
Out for everybody to see.
It's like
fanfare.
You're gonna fight a war like that? Like you go on a
That's
battle
not
like that? have your priorities in order. Unless maybe she's like thinking next level, like if I can get these dudes to think I'm so hot that they stumble in their tracks and they get distracted. It's like, what? What doesn't make any sense? So anyways,
I don't think that battle tactic works in the field.
I don't think it's like So I wanted to design characters with that in mind. That like, you know, how can you design characters who like where like their clothing is like a form of their expression, like a part of who they are, and really pays a nod to sort of like old world kind of like traditions and cultures and stuff. And so yeah, a lot of characters, that was a big point, is like they all wear like long, flowing, colorful, vibrant like color clothing, which pays homage to different traditions and different cultures. Yeah, and it was just really important to me too, like to make it look great, you know what I'm saying, in that respect.
It does. It looks amazing, and honestly, like it still looks feminine. Do you know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Like she's still
Yeah.
like, even she's not showing a lot, but she still looks very feminine and beautiful, and I just love what you did with it. I'm gonna like throw up the fact that you threw in purple. You know, I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
You know what's funny? So here's how I settle on purple. Okay, here's how I settle on purple, and maybe you'll think less of me by this, but it's okay. I wanted to make a Mega Man X fan game, okay?
Yes.
And I wanted her to have the abilities of both X and Zero. X is blue, red is zero. Blue plus red makes purple. So she's got
color
a cannon.
theory. No,
She's got a.
that's fine.
She's
That's
got an
fine.
cannon,
I'm all about color theory.
Yes.
after X, and she's got a blade after Zero,
Buddy.
so she embodies both of their abilities, and so that's why she's that's why she is the way she is. She's purple.
I can't
and then I
believe
realized
you thought
purple
I
just
would
worked
think
really
less
well,
of you.
like everything else.
Purple works really
That
great.
was that's an incredible reason. That's what's up. But all right, Derek, I'm going to throw it to you. I'm sure you have some questions.
You know, I'm in here in the game. I'm like experiencing the gameplay firsthand, and so yeah, the first thing is I have to ask is the gameplay. You know, what sort of we've talked about Mega Man, we've talked about you know, all these other aesthetics that brought into building the project. What other parts? You know, what else is that influence here that we might not know about?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like when I launched the Kickstarter, people ask about it. Literally, the game is just Mega Man X in 3D. Like that is the DNA. Like I love that 2D side-scrolling, how fast and how smooth the gameplay was, and how like the gameplay is so focused. Right? It's so simple. It's like you just like I think Sequelitis did a really funny video. It's like they should call it Mega Man just jump and shoot, man. That's all you do. You jump and you shoot. You jump and you shoot.
You do.
So, that's all you do. And so, like, that was one of the primary challenges. Is like, how do you take something in 2D space, which is very easy, jump and shoot, because you only move in two directions. But how do you do that in 3D, where you don't turn the game into like Fortnite or into like a third-person shooter, where now the core mechanic and the game for the player is expected to make is manipulating, like how well can you aim on top of movement? And that immediately becomes way less accessible. Like I know me personally, I'm not a first-person shooter player because like I suck with the right stick. I didn't grow up playing with it, and so manipulating the right stick, I've never quite gotten the touch right. So I wanted to design. I was like, that was the main design challenge for the game. Is like, how do I make it that even in 3D, all you have to worry about is jumping and shooting, and that's where like the lock-on mechanic that you see is presenting itself comes into play.
Yeah.
Where it's like she will automatically lock on and orient herself and fire at the target that so that all you have to worry about is jumping and shooting. And that's been like a really important thing to like towards translating the 3D Mega Man, like Mega Man X in 2D to 3D. So that on top of like responsive, like fluid movement, you know what I'm saying? If you notice when she jumps and stuff, she doesn't carry like momentum with her, like in a Mario game where it's hard to stop. If you jump and then let go of like the direction input, she'll just fall straight down. Because that was always really important with Mega Man, is that like it's one-to-one movement. It's like you go where you want to go. And when you do that, gameplay can become a lot more deliberate, it feels more like rewarding, because it's like she's doing exactly what I want to do. And if I messed up, that's because it wasn't because I was fighting physics, it's because I just didn't plan my approach correctly, right? And so like taking from inspiration from games like Hollow Knight, Mega Man X, that really nailed that awesome feeling. That's kind of what's going on under the hood and what's really important for the game.
I can't champion that enough. When you said that awesome feeling, the game feels excellent when you pick up the controller and you have to. You saw me falling, and that was of my own fault. You know, nobody else. I can't blame the game for those mistakes. But you know, the environments are challenging, the opponents are challenging, and the gameplay is super fun. You know, what you have going on here is already incredible.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, a little tip: if you can make it just past this next section of like platforming challenges, oh, good shot. So if you can make it just past it, there's a checkpoint, so you won't get reset to the beginning. So there's an enemy here. There's going to be a turret who's going to fire at you from long range, and it's shielded, so watch out for that. And then you have like a little look at him. I know, because I want you to get this checkpoint. I don't want you to have to reset.
He wants you to succeed.
I'm gonna start that.
I want success for you.
Ready? Ooh.
Remember, he shoots 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and then you can.
Oh, you got this.
Oh, here we go.
I love that. I love the variety of the enemies too. Like you get adapted to you adapt to the play of say one enemy, and then another one shows up.
Right.
Oh, we got this.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. So now you can die whenever, whatever. You'll at least get a little checkpoint. And so that was the thing I really loved about Mega Man games, is that like the enemy design is not that complex. Like the enemies do like one or two things. It's very different from like modern shooter games where it's like you got enemies who like take cover and moving left to right, and they have all this like advanced AI. I found that like if you just combine simple elements with each other, it can make for a very complex situation. So like here, it's just a moving platform that also happens to have some obstructions in the way, that also happens to have an enemy floating above you, which is going to cause problems, right? Or like here, it's just 2 enemies, but them being off stage a little bit and like opposite each other presents another type of challenge. And so it's really cool being able to like layer on complexity, but just like literally adding these very simple elements and combining them. That's one of like the main differentiators from Prototype Delta. From like the nearest analogy people have noticed is like, oh, it looks like kind of like Ratchet and Clank. But the difference there is that like with Ratchet and Clank games, typically you're expected to do combat in like combat arenas and platforming sections. They're like divorced from each other. And that's not Mega Man, right? Mega Man is always like you got to jump and shoot at the same time. You got to deal with like platforms coming at you and enemies coming at you simultaneously. And so that's been a really important design aspect for the game. Has been like to be able to, whenever you see some platforming, add an enemy in there. You know what I'm saying? So that like the player is like doing both simultaneously, and that gives the game its unique DNA.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I can't wait to see an enemy in this space. I'm already stressed.
Yeah, he's a chaser, that little one.
Yeah, those little guys, man, they come for you like got
yeah,
no patience as soon as
they're
show
kind of
up.
relentless. Oh, there he is. And if you're
You're doing such a good job, though.
You're doing pretty good, man.
I promise this is
Yeah.
my first time playing.
Oh, sweet.
My health bar, I'm like, oh, come on.
You got this.
So that's the thing too, is that like I also have to kind of like toe the line between like traditional Mega Man difficulty and like modern game design sensibilities, because I felt like that's one of the reasons why Mega Man has not been as like, it's like an icon, it's like a household name, but like I think the fact that the games have been so difficult that like not many people have beaten a Mega Man game kind of detracts from its overall appeal. And so I'm trying to find how do I kind of like bridge these two things where it's like you have just enough difficulty where it feels like it honors that sort of like appeal of it, like, oh, these games are tough, but it's not so hard that like no one can beat it. Only a handful of people are very experienced like winning. Because I feel like games like Pokemon, that's part of the appeal. I think universally is that like everybody beats Pokemon. Like no one doesn't beat Pokemon. And so since everyone has such fond memories of like I succeeded in that, it had some difficulty to it, but like I figured out the type matchups and built my lineup. It creates like fond memories, and that contributes to its overall like appeal, I think. So I wanted to do that with Prototype Delta. That like it can be tough at times, but there are sensible game design decisions that allow for it to be a little bit easier, so that like so more people can enjoy what Mega Man truly is, but in a 3D space. So the checkpoints are in there. There's gonna be like an item shop where you can purchase like little health refills, to help you out if you're low on health, and a little item which will nullify damage when you fall into a pit, so that maybe if you're finding that too difficult, you can like nullify that and then just keep trying over and over again. Similar to like in Celeste, it's like there's like no penalty to dying. You just start over and you can keep trying until you get it. Just a lot in terms of like making the games accessible. And modernizing, and not repeating some of the same kind of like things that kind of held back previous like similar titles.
Excellent. Yeah.
I'm all into this gameplay.
I can't say that enough. I love this little touch here. So earlier in the game, I spent this time navigating these rotating objects, and this last one here rotates faster than the others. which
Yeah, exactly.
proved itself to be an unexpected surprise. So yeah, it's those little nuanced adjustments that I think are really
Okay.
cool.
So turn around. So
I
the
feel
idea
like you
is
have
similar
to,
the
yeah, you have to
tutorial.
go through there again. Yes,
Yeah. So you have to
Okay, then
dash
go
jump
again.
to clear it.
Yep. All right.
but it's only there for a little bit, right?
So you
Okay,
got to
yeah.
do the
Okay.
dash. Woo!
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
all right.
No, this makes
There we
me-
go.
good job, Derek.
did
I
it.
probably wouldn't have made it that far. Mad proud of you. I can't wait to play this game. I'm serious. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to play it. It
Yeah,
definitely
so
brings back like nostalgic feelings of when I used to play video games with my brother and stuff.
Yes. That's the goal right there. The target release date is Q1 2023. And with the Humble Publishing deal, it's been such a huge boom because now I haven't mentioned this before, but I don't work full time in games. I work full time as a engineer, for mechanical engineer for a company. And this is all like a side project, sort of just a hobby, like a creative passion of mine. But with the Humble support, I'm now able to hire set teams like level designers and environment artists and programmers to sort of round this game out. So it's everything you see here, I designed and programmed myself, and built. The art, I was able to, with the BGDF funds, hire artists to install this art and put together this level. And my friend Armando Navarrete, who did the initial level design for these couple stages. But now with this publishing support, we can now finish the game out and add all the rest of the levels, finish up with the bosses and the sub bosses. The game's in a pretty good state though. Right now it is playable start to finish, including the bosses. What's missing is animations and some tweaks to the AI, the behavior of the AI. This is a crazy section, by the way.
It's a wild. When the lasers started intersecting, I was like, here we go.
You got a dash jump.
Yeah, I forgot about the dash.
I'm really Q1 2023. Now I've got the support that I need to sort of round this project out. I just couldn't be more thrilled. It's been a tough road, but seeing the positive reaction from folks like yourself, Destiny, and Derek, and just the community in general has been really motivating. People like what they see. They like what they see, and I like that they like that.
I mean, for this to be a side project and a hobby, it's very well polished.
Thank you.
So when you were like, yeah, I don't do this full time. I just, I just do this when I have some free time. I'm like, it looks incredible. Okay.
Thank you so much. So here's the thing. There's a lot of stuff in the game that I don't know if Derek will be able to showcase. Because I want you to get to the end of this level because there's a cool cutscene where you meet another character, I'll say. But I'm not sure how much longer we have on the stream because it'd be cool to kind of see that. But if we can't, it'd be nice to kind of showcase some of what else is in the game. But you guys let me know if you think we've got the wherewithal. Oh, you're gonna have to those guys. You got to stun them and then get around them. So the trick is
the way I knew that, and I said to myself, we're gonna hit him. We're gonna, and then we're gonna move on and still bumped into him.
So you got to shoot him when he's low, and then you can dash jump over him. Bam! There we go.
Oh,
now,
there you go.
I add the complexity. Now you got to deal with two of these bad boys. There's one going horizontal while you're on a jump pad. So you got a time when you shoot him, so you can make sure he's paused away from your primary path.
Yep.
And then you sort of sneak right by. It's a wild, simple elements. You just add them together to each other, and all of a sudden you got a spicy pepperoni. They say, well, a spicy meatball. There we go. I think guys up there. He's got a lot of health too, so you're gonna want to make sure the camera is focused on that guy. There we go. Oh, gotcha.
The power.
I don't know if anyone's on a keyboard by you, but a little pro tip: if you hit, oh man, what's the button? I don't want you to die. There's a button to regain your health. And I want to help you,
what,
but there's also a button to self. Yeah, there's cheat codes, man. There's also a button to self-destruct, and I keep forgetting which is which.
No.
Oh.
He said, I installed the GameShark, but I don't know what it's gonna do.
You have to hold the left Alt button on the keyboard for 1 second, and your health will magically regenerate.
It's okay. I'm gonna
Ooh,
press on with the challenge.
He's gonna press on the
I'm
challenge. Oh,
I'm gonna
He's gonna
press
press
it. If I
on.
die-
Okay.
If I die, I die.
See, there we go. That's the way. Yeah, that's the way you gotta be, man. If I die, I die.
See, he's good. I would have been like, ooh, I can regen my health. All.
We'll do some revenge and dash on that.
A little tip with this one is if you dash jump onto the trampoline, you'll keep the momentum from it, so you'll continue to like move faster in the air.
Wow, that's cool.
So to make that second jump a little more easy. There's like little nods here or there about like for players who do become comfortable and gain mastery with some of the movement that like technically this whole section you can almost dash jump totally through if you.
All right, guys.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. We just got
It's all
told
right. This has
we're
been great.
over time. But thank you so much for showing us the game. It's incredible. I can't wait to play it. And I think we're
Thank
going to
you.
throw up a trailer for the new game. Adam, it was great talking to you.
It's really nice meeting you both, Destiny and Derek. And I'm glad that you like my game. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Love it.
Thanks for having me, folks. Take care.
See you around. Well, our next guest we have up is Scott Popular. You just saw the trailer for Ninja Man, and I think we need to go right into talking to Scott and hear about what's at play with Ninja Man. And so, Scott, are you with us?
I'm here. I hear you. Can you hear me? Are we good?
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear
see
you.
How are you doing
Gang.
today?
Gang. I'm doing fantastic. How are you guys doing?
It's excellent.
We're
And
good.
we're talking about games. Everything's excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Congrats to Adam. You know, black excellence
Absolutely.
is all times.
Shout out to Adam.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
we want to give you your spotlight. We want to give you your spotlight too. Shout outs to Adam, but also shout outs to you, Scott. Not only do you have a game to share with us, but please tell us about your background. Tell us where you are calling in from. Please don't miss any details.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that. All right. So Scott Popular is currently calling you guys from sunny California. The weather is perfect. Sunny Hawaii. We left there a long time ago. And
Nice.
yeah, it's like I got an extra tan on top of my regular tan, and I'm feeling pretty
That's
good.
what's up.
Very melanated.
Nice and chocolatey.
And it's super chocolatey at this point, super dark, special dark chocolate. And but yes, I'm talking about Ninja Man, the game. Make sure you get the apparel at some point, probably in some retail store near you. And it's a lovely game about infinite love. Like, just imagine if you had a ninja best friend who could just throw love infinitely at the opposition or people. Because I feel like there's been a lot of sadness in the world lately. Even on TV, just being in America for this short amount of time and seeing like just travesty upon travesty upon travesty. And I just feel like the world needs a little bit more love, and ninjas disperse love the best. So in Ninja Man, all you have to do is hit them with some love, take them to the club, or take them back to their respective places later on in the game. The music is very important to me. This is the first time I've ever made music for anything, and I love it. We tried to make something club banger-ish for all the people in Atlanta and all the people in Tokyo. So the game is basically in the setting of Atlanta, Tokyo. So I spent about 60% of my life in Atlanta and 40% of my life in Tokyo. So there's gonna be a lot of different mixes. All right, and I'm watching you play this game. So you can use the D-pad to climb the trees.
Okay.
It'll make things a lot easier for you. And also, if you hold
cool.
down the square button, if you're on a PlayStation controller, you will run.
Excellent.
And you can also
Okay.
throw love while you're in the tree.
We got the Game Pro magazine, the tips and tricks.
That's gonna be a new saying.
Yeah.
Throw some love while you in the tree. The music is incredible. When you're,
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to say when the trailer came on, I was like, what? So
Yeah,
big up on that.
that's the feeling. Yeah, that's the feeling that we want people to have. Because like honestly, when we started making this club, after the joke part of it, it was more like, yo, I want to make a video game that people can play in the club, and it just
Yeah.
feels like it's more. Like you ran out of money. It's like, oh, I can't buy no more drinks. Let me go play some Ninja Man real quick. And it's been an awesome, it's been an awesome experience to see people like play the game and enjoy it. But even more so is when the people behind them, like they're like coaching them. They're not pro gamers at any sense at all. They're like, yo, you need to go do this. Ooh, watch out. Oh no, Derek, don't do this to me. Don't. Oh, you didn't die. You just lame.
I'm lame.
You lame.
It's good.
So
Okay, so I'm going to be here not only asking questions but playing at the same time. So you'll
Right.
have to bear with me if I'm distracted. I'm throwing love at everybody.
Okay.
Tell
Look
us
at those
about
dance
the
moves.
story of Ninja Man, because the aesthetic, the style, everything is so. I got to know more. I got to know why are we there's zombie exotic dancers, but we're bringing them to Glitter City. What's the world of Ninja Man?
Glitter City, first and foremost, Glitter City, no relation to Magic City at the moment. But with that being said, it's just about shooting love and making people a little bit more happier than they were before. I wanted this game to be extremely comedic and just taking a lot of experience from me growing up in Atlanta. And I spent a lot of times in like nightclubs, like doing various things, not only just like having fun and partying. I also did a lot of security work, and I also had various video game events in various clubs in Atlanta and Tokyo. So I'm also one of the founding members of Final Round, which is one of the first esports tournaments in the Southeast. And so, just growing up in the arcade era actually taught me a lot about like video games in general and just dealing with people. And definitely get the run on. And I really, really, really enjoy ninjas and like the things that they're able to do. And it's not like some super fantasy thing in a sense. It's like, okay, this is like basic, like contemporary things that you could deal with. I mean, it's basically collecting fruit, giving it to the people, or later on there are going to be animals and dragons and all kinds of crazy things, and just doing it to a really good feel good beat.
I cannot agree more.
Oh, and
the beat feels good, the vibes are good. Everything is real fun.
And there's a lot of like Easter eggs for people who've lived in Atlanta and people who lived in Tokyo as well. Like, I like doing a lot of collaborations with people who have like either clothing brands or venues who are like, hey man, can you put this into your game? I'm like, yeah, if you're cool, we can work this out. No problem at all.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's dope. I wanted to say, like, when I first looked up the game, you're doing a good job. I don't know how many chicks I would have gotten in the club already. Probably none, But one of the things I wanted to ask you is, where did you start developing the game? Was it in Atlanta? Was it in the U.S.? Or did you actually start this process when you were in Japan?
So actually, we started this process when right before COVID hit in Japan. And it was actually a joke because the character itself, just the headpiece and the chain, was the logo for a podcast we had called Ninjas in Tokyo. And Ninjas in Tokyo is actually... yeah, I know. So Ninjas in Tokyo is actually a two-man rap group consisting of me and Rekadam, he's also the drummer in Steven Universe. And he's worked on several indie games as well. And so we put that group together, and then we decided to, oh man, that's where you need to use the gold chain R1. Derek, let's practice. Yeah, he did. He definitely.
We gonna practice, Derek.
Let's practice. No, just the gold chain. Okay, the R1.
All right.
There you go.
Yep.
When the white ninja gets close to you, hit him with the R1. There you go. All right, so going back to Roger, who is a fantastic drummer and a very good programmer and sound engineer as well. He helped me put all this together. And then with a little bit more assistance from Chuhai Labs, which is in Kyoto, they helped us get the game to this point right here. So shouts out to Mark, Zach, and Kenzie. I've gotten a lot of support from the Japanese dev community.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that. Like, how is it working in the industry there as a Black entrepreneur, game developer? I lived in South Korea for a little bit, and I know it's much harder to get into things there. So how is it in Japan?
Food's great, and yeah, food's great, but at the same time, it's like you're in a different market. So you have to, especially with a game like this, because like people were like, okay, so it's a ninja game, and the ninja's not killing anybody, and there's no swords, so this is not your normal ninja game at all. But at the same time, I feel like it's being really well received. When we did the art shows, those were actually my favorite, because like I had the chance to see like Japanese people, especially Japanese women, who have I wouldn't say they have no idea, but they're not really familiar with the whole club culture. And they just look at the game and they're like, oh, this is so cute. Like, the ninja's giving them fruits and he's taking them back to these places. And that's it, on the surface level. And they just enjoy it.
I mean, it looks fun. But, like, when I saw it, I immediately laughed because I was like, this is hilarious. And then when I read the description, I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here. I love that you combined two cultures and it's seamless. Like, even though you're like, oh, it was kind of a joke, it works really well. And I think it speaks to your creativity, like what you've done here. Even though you thought it was a joke at first, like, look what you've created so far. This is incredible.
Thank you. All right, Derek, there's nothing. That's the Easter egg. There's nothing up here, but thank you for getting there.
I saw it on the side. I had to explore it. Thank you.
Yeah, to check it out. Actually, in the black disc where you are right now, that's Roger. So I've made it a point to put in everybody who's helped me work on this game. They're in the game somewhere, like as an Easter egg.
Excellent.
So they know exactly like where they are in the game, and it's like this game has been like really important to me because like a couple of my friends died during making this game, and they're in the game now. So it's kind of like,
oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I mean, it happens to everyone, but I'm just glad that these people were a part of my life and they actually helped me make this game.
And it's
so
a special
at the
moment
very
to be able
least,
to commemorate them in that way.
Yeah. So
absolutely,
so they're definitely going to stay in. No, they're not being taken out.
Absolutely.
And there are black women in this game. Just to let you know.
I wasn't gonna ask. I mean, I was wondering, but I was like, I wasn't gonna ask though.
I wasn't gonna ask. I wasn't trying to put anity on the spot.
I wasn't trying to like throw you under the bus or anything. I was just like, I'm gonna wait.
That's definitely like that was the first thing my sister said when she played this game. She was just like, "There's no like you have to put more black women in the game," and I was like, "Okay, no problem, I got that."
Yes, sir.
The cherries are
kudos to her. That's it. That's what's up, sis.
No. I mean, you have to say it. Like don't hold your tongue. If it's something that needs to be said, just go ahead and say it.
You do, especially because you are, a black creator. So this is like our moment in time to see ourselves in spaces that we aren't normally asked to be in, which is why Black Voices in Gaming is so incredibly important, right? So I love that your sister said that. I wasn't going to say anything until like after. I was going to hit you up on Discord and be like...
gameplay notes.
Yeah.
It
played nice, but...
the hair flip and the sucking of the teeth. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, if people wanted to find more about you and your game, can you plug your socials?
Definitely. everything at Scott Popular. So that's Twitter, Facebook, uh, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you want to follow Ninja Man directly, because Ninja Man is doing all kinds of things all over the world right now, you can follow that at Ninja Man Game on Instagram, and that has like all the pictures of removable graffiti. So one of the black women that's in the game is Quita, and Quita went to the beach yesterday, so you can see all her new pictures on Instagram right now. So just go there and
Oh,
check
okay.
her out.
Love a little bit of the AR gaming aspect, bringing some things into reality. Fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I really want to get into the AR thing because like I was like, wow, this would have been a lot easier than me just walking all the way over here and posting this up here. I could have did everything digitally.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us and showing us your game. It's absolutely incredible. You've done some great things. We're running a little behind, so we are going to jump off here, but let's stay in touch, everybody, especially because I want some swag.
Yes.
All right.
I got you.
All of Scott Popular.
All right. Guys, we just want to throw a shout out to our sponsors again who have helped us create this great showcase, bringing together so many cool people. Raw Fury, PlayStation, Intel Game Developer Boost, ID at Xbox, and Razer. Again, thank you so much, because without you, we wouldn't be able to put together what we put together. And it's been such an incredible journey already. But we're going to throw on our next trailer so you guys can check this game out. And then we're going to introduce our next guest.
Hey guys! Keep on rocking in the free world. 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 Yeah, go ahead, go and do what you want. Live free, do what you want. Ride around town, ride a bike or something. Stay carefree, live like the sun. Man, I know all the times they putting you down. I know it take a lot just to put up a smile, but for now, do things you ain't did in a while. Blue dress, ooh girl, I'm feeling your style. We got to get it. We on that, we bout to shut down the city. We made the weed, find the force in our system. We love the weed on the crack of the vision. We don't got time like we.
Yo, that was
Love
dope.
Yes. Like,
oh, the music
blow out
was
the big
great.
speakers with it. Yeah, it
Yes.
was excellent.
All right. We want to bring Beloved to the screen to talk more about his game. What is up, Beloved?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm
So
pretty good. I'm pretty
After
good.
listening to the
It's a
beat.
pretty good day out here. So
Excellent. Excellent.
Where are you at?
I'm based in Portland, Oregon. It's a nice day, but the weather's always kind of rainy out here, so we're big chilling.
I didn't mean to
Love
cut you off, Derek. Go ahead.
Oh no, we're good. I'm only going to provide the useful disclaimer that I'm going to try my best to ask questions and play games at the same time. So don't judge me if I don't do well.
I always judge.
You've
so
been
you'll be
killing it.
Ninja,
You've been killing
Ninja
it.
Man
You're
called
good.
me
You're
lame.
good.
I got called lame 3 times in Ninja Man. So we're gonna dive in. But please, I'm so pleased to be Beloved. I'm so pleased to dive into 5-Force Fighters. So we would love to hear more about what we're going to be showing here.
Yeah. Tell us about
Okay,
first. Tell us a little bit about yourself before you jump into the game. I want to know a little bit about you, and then we're going to jump into more about the game. So, how'd you get started? What's the inspiration behind it?
Okay, yeah, for sure. So I kind of got started when I was around 19 years old. A lot of stuff was happening at that time. I just it was kind of a dark time.
I'm the best.
Going to college full time, working full time. My parents weren't really around. They were all the way in Nigeria. So we were financially, supporting ourselves. So I was paying for rent for my siblings. My sister was doing the same thing. We were just really down. I spent a lot of my time just thinking about what I really enjoyed. And gaming was the thing. Creating the game was really what we were all about. And my little brother, he was, I think, around 14 at the time. We started talking. He was drawing in his sketchbook, and I just saw, and I got super inspired. And I asked him right then and there, want to make a game with me, and just they always trusted me, and we ran with it. We came up with a lot of concepts for characters, a lot of things changed, but we tried to keep it as simple as possible because at the time we weren't really specialized in art. That's what led to this 5-foot project.
That's incredible. I love that you and your brother work together. So that's one of the first things I think Justin actually told us about you, is that you and your brother kind of like work together to make this game. I barely get along with mine, so I think it's incredible that you guys were able to pull together and make this game. It's so nice. And this is your first game, correct?
Yeah. So what's wild is I actually have like 9 sisters. I get along with pretty much all of them. We got some fights here and there, but yeah, when it came down to the nitty-gritty of doing the down and back, we're really good at connecting, supporting each other, and boosting what we like to do. So I had a lot of support from my sisters. Just keep going. My sister was the reason we were able to start animating. She gave us a tablet. She was going to college with a tablet. Pretty much after this, her main computer of sorts to like work on homework. So yeah, me and my little brother, Dwight, he's done an amazing job in playtesting with me. Had a lot of fun working and trying to come up with unique ways to make this site.
That's really what's up. Like, I love that it's a family affair. Like, that's incredible. And that you have so much support because, like you said, your parents are not here, correct? They're in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So, how do they feel about your game? Have you showed them? What do they think?
Crazy thing was that they weren't really on it at first, I think they thought I was kind of like a bad kid. I kind of made them studying or something. So we kind of were split up. So he likes in Arizona with my sisters. I'm still in Portland. But after a while, when they started, saw that we were pretty successful together, our parents were more excited about what we were getting into.
It looks so good. And I'm sure this goes without saying, like everybody watching is like, obviously this is where they get their inspiration from. But for those of you who don't, like myself, know for sure where you got your inspiration from for the game. Like, can you tell me what inspired you? I get like some Street Fighter in here, some Dark Stalkers, But like, have you always been into fighting games and like combos and stuff like that?
Okay, so if I'm gonna get serious about it,
please get serious. I'm ready.
That's what we're here for.
Okay, so what happened was we were trying to make when we were first making the game. We were actually trying to make a platform fighter. It didn't really work out with the ideas that we were trying to combine. So we just started putting things together. There was no direct inspiration from Boondocks. There was no direct inspiration from Street Fighter. It all just kind of meshed when you just subconsciously start thinking about what you're doing, what you're trying to create.
Okay.
You get a similar situation. I mean, I've played a ton of fighting games. That's what I said. It's like it all comes together at some point. Have your own idea, but those things are already happening. But the direct inspiration, I guess, would be this fighting game. It's actually not even an official fighting game. Hyper Dragon Ball Z by Team Team. We played it a lot.
Yeah.
That's where we got a lot of the inspiration. Even to, I guess that indirectly was actually stuff.
Well, it looks good. It looks really good.
It is really challenging.
Did you beat him up?
Oh.
You won, right? You won. That was you, right?
I'm Pebbles. I'm on the left. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
most def. All right. I wanted
Pebbles
to
is
be sure.
the
'Cause I was
game-
like, you can't win the next. You can't lose the next one. You got it.
I don't know. I'm getting bodied right now.
Yeah, the fight pretty tough. I can't lie. So a lot of the things about this game that we really tried doing that was different. There's a small bar at the bottom called the force meter, and burn the meter to do all types of attacks. So that was the main difference from most fighting. Usually conserve to attacks. Pull off special. So we try to take that convention.
I want to thank you for showing us your game. It's absolutely incredible. You and your brother have done an amazing job. If people want to find out more about you, more about the game, can you plug your socials? And why can't I talk today? Can you plug your socials so we know where to find you?
Yeah, we're at Kaizen Creed on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, I guess. I made one a while ago. YouTube, so you can find us there. Oh, and in TikTok. So yeah, you can find us there on those social media accounts.
All right. Well, thank you so much, beloved. Also, I love your handle. Like, I love that it's beloved. That's so sweet. But thank you so much for coming on. And thank you so much for coming on. I don't know what he was gonna say. All right, we're gonna jump to our next guest. Beloved, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all of that with us. We appreciate you letting us play your game, and we will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and our next guest is. We have our next guest coming on in just a few minutes, or just a few moments. But while they're getting ready, Des, what do you think of this show so far? What do you think of these games so far?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm just really hyped to be a part of this because I know you've been on our podcast before, Burnout Brighter, and honestly, I'm just all about diversity. So having this space, having people come on and creating a safe space where they can be heard and seen, and you can see like the talent and the creative knowledge that's coming into it is just incredible. But I won't go on. Let's bring on our next guest. Who is it again?
We have Khalif Adams from none other than Spawn on Me podcast. Khalif, hello.
Khalif, what's up?
How's everybody doing? I think I can hear you all.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Actually, I can't hear you just yet.
I'll just do a little dance until you get back. Can you hear us now? He can't hear us now. I need some music.
we will float in the ether until
we will just float. I know when he came onto our show, I promised him that I would have drinks, and I do have drinks. I have drinks. This is just for Khalif, that old Smoky Mountain.
Like you're just talking about something you're not going to share with anybody else. Is that what
I mean? Like, you know, like I'm not going to partake in it right now. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, when we all meet up, I'll bring the drinks. You know?
Okay, got it. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Do you drink, Derek?
Do I? You know, I imbibe from time to time. I try to keep it minimal, though. You know, when I lose, you know, when I lose control, I'd say control of my spatial awareness. I don't like being in that state, so I don't stay in it very often.
No, I understand.
Yeah, I tried to articulate that the best way that I could, and it just that's about how I come
that
off
was
when
good.
I have too many drinks. Yeah.
I understood what you were saying. I'm sure everybody else understood what you were saying, so it's fine. But I know we were talking a little bit about Black Voices in Gaming and why it's so important. Just while Khalif gets settled in, guys, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to listen to us a little longer. But I think one of the most important things is that, like we said, creating a safe space, and it's like a family. So I know when I jumped in the Discord and I was like talking to the people and like introducing myself, so they didn't think I was slipping into their DMs like some random crazy chick. Everybody's so friendly, and that's really, really nice, because there's this idea that like Black folks are not friendly. Do you know what I mean? And I think like being in a group of people who are like amazingly talented, but also You see the interaction between Justin and our first guest. You see how they're just excited, how there's a game that's about spreading love. Do you know what I mean? Being a ninja and spreading love. And I love that we're able to showcase that here. And wearing a gold chain. Listen, the gold chain was the most important part. I don't know how I forgot that. But I think that's incredible. And I'm so happy that we get to be a part of it, you know?
Absolutely. You know, if there's anything I could extract from that, what I heard was, knocking down stigmatisms and then building camaraderie, connections between other people. And I think that really hits the nail. The community within Black Voices in Gaming has been one that not only serves me, but I'm a part of it as well. You know, and being here with you today and everybody who's tuning in is one of my favorite things about it. Increasing the visibility of Black-led games is really important. This extends to other diverse communities, the BIPOC community, LGBTQIA. But today, we are championing Black voices. And so, absolutely, I can't say it enough to check out the games that you've seen so far. We do have another one a little bit later. But be sure to follow up on the titles that you've seen, to wishlist them and support the developers. And if you out there are a burgeoning developer or seeking a path to get involved in games, absolutely connect with this community, because there's a lot of people within here waiting to support you.
That's what's
good.
up. That was really good. That was nice. But
Yes.
I'm not sure if people know this, but you were also one of the interviewees on the show at one point in time, talking about something that you worked on, right?
That's right. We are going to see a tiny piece of that a little later. But yes, I had the pleasure of being a part of Black Voices in Gaming. I think it was last year, and I got a cool T-shirt that my stepson now wears to school to be like, oh, look at my look at these games. And stuff like that. It's excellent. But I at that time I shared some things from Onsen Master, and like I said, we'll see a little bit more today.
All right, awesome.
All right, I can hear you now.
Khalif, welcome back.
What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing? Sorry for
Hey.
the issues on things, but
Technical
that's the way that
difficulties.
it
It's
happens.
fine. That's the way we know it happens. I don't know
We've all
if you
been
heard
doing
me
this so
earlier, but
long.
I said I brought the drinks, Khalif. I brought the drinks. Did you bring your drink?
I have cherry water in here.
That better be
Some
cherry water, son.
cherry water.
Come on.
You
now.
get those syrups that you get when you go to the store and when you make snow cones. I got some of those,
Yeah.
and I put some fizzy water in here. This helps me not
Oh,
drink
okay.
soda. So I'm trying to be
That's what's
fancy. I had
up.
my pinky up when I did it. It was beautiful.
Oh,
Was it-
okay.
Was there a memo sent out about these drinks? I'm going to keep this real brief because we have questions to ask you, Khalif. But did y'all have like a drink memo? I have coffee. That's all I have.
I didn't know. Tracy came through with the drinks, and I was like, I got to find a glass. I have a glass right here somewhere. I know I got something. I didn't want to be left out. But thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for pushing through the technical issues.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
We
No
appreciate you being here.
problem.
Khalif, if we could jump right into it, if you could share with our audience who you are and what it is that you're doing with Spawn on Me podcast.
Yeah, my name is Khalif Adams. I run the Spawn on Me podcast. I like to call us the premier podcast spotlighting people of color in the video game industry. We've been doing this for almost a decade now. We just had our 9th year anniversary back in January of this year. And yeah, I think you come to our show to talk about all the things that you don't hear on other podcasts around blackness, around culture, around about what our contributions are to the space. And hopefully we do that in a smart and fun way that makes you want to kind of dig into it and be a part of our Chicago residency here at Spawn on Me.
Now for maybe the new listeners, can you break down what Chicago is? Because I don't know if you know, I've been listening to Spawn on Me for a long time. I know what that is. Maybe some people at home don't know what that is.
Yeah, maybe some people don't know. Not me,
I mean,
though.
if y'all don't know, what's up with that? Y'all need to get up on no, I'm just playing. But when we first started the show, it was basically where we started it from. So I was in Brooklyn. My co-founder, Sister Holmes, was in Chicago. So we decided to mash those two up and make our faux land in which Spawn on Me resides, which is Chicago. So folks are like, broccoli? I don't know why are you promoting broccoli like this? I was like, no, it's Chicago and Brooklyn mixed together is Chicago. And people are like, oh, now I get it.
You should be able to extract it, once you hear it, but we're covering the bases just in case. How did Spawn on Me podcast get started?
Yeah, so I was at home. I was at work actually in my IT job, and I was hating my life because I was like, I'm tired of y'all not understanding how mice and keyboards work while I'm trying to teach y'all how the printer works, and you're killing me, Smalls. So it was one of those moments where I sat there and I was like, I want to feel smart. I want to feel like I'm, adding something to this pastime that I love. So we started writing, way back in the day on a blog called the Spawn Point blog, and then. Decided to sunset that a couple years afterwards and start a podcast. I was a big fan of folks like Giant Bomb and the One Up Show and all those things back in the day, and said, there's no space that has us in it. I don't see any Black folks doing this work in that way and kind of showcasing and talking about what we bring to the gaming space, even though I know we're all playing. I know we are folks who are doing this work and being in those spaces. So got on a game of 2K. Was playing and ran into this cat while I was streaming it, and he's like, "Hey, I saw that you write, and we've been thinking about wanting to do some video game content. Let's get together and do something and see what we can do." And that's how Spawn on Me kind of came together. It was me and C coming together, thinking about what the angles would be for that conversation and how we could bridge it out. And yeah, like 9 years later, it's still going strong and making things happen.
That's an amazing story.
Congratulations on 9 years.
Love how you came together.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so now we're 9 years later. How do you feel about it all, in contributing to a space that is bringing content to Black voices, and you being a part of that space as well?
It's really humbling. I think, it's one of those things where, you start a side project and then your side project becomes a thing that is a passion project. And then that passion project then gives you kind of a feeling of like, oh, wow, like this is a thing that I can do well. And I'll be honest, it's given me a lot of purpose. It's given me a lot of ability to kind of think, future facing in a ways that I wasn't really doing when I was young. And also it gives a space to be able to talk to, our culture in a way that I think we don't really get a chance to see in this gaming space. Like I think culturally for the media space, we usually trend in kind of index really high on pop culture stuff. We are first movers on everything that's hot. We are the culture. I say that all the time, and I mean it. But it is one of those things of in the gaming space, you don't really hear about our contributions and what we do. So me trying to be a conduit to bring some of those folks to the forefront, while also talking about games through my prism as a Black man in the world. I think all of those things add to this really cool space that we've created, and I hope then that people are digging it for one, and people are seeing the conversations that we have as smart ones and really interesting ones. And again, I think it's just a thing of reconnecting that idea of nothing on this planet moves that's dope without us, right? Gaming is the biggest space in the world right now in terms of entertainment. We influence this space in ways that no one will give us credit for. So how do we talk about that? And how do we push that to the forefront and make that the understanding that we are making strides here and we are doing what we need to do to make it dope?
Well said, Khalif. I really appreciate you touching base on that. I wish we could sit and talk about the podcast and sit with you for much longer than our segment provides today. And so of course we have to find an opportunity to bring you back and find an opportunity to talk about Spawn on Me podcast more. I don't know, maybe like a Burnout Brighter, Spawn on Me, thing.
He's been on before, and he knows. He knows the invitation is always open. Anytime you want to come on, let's just come.
We got to get you both on Spawn on Me too. I know that the technical issues kind of shortened it up, but again, the things that are happening today, I need everyone in the chat and everyone who's watching understand that this takes a lot of effort. This takes a lot of work to get together. This is a thing that is for the culture, and it really does help to spread the word about our contributions to the space. So please support it. Please give it love, and please give these two wonderful folks all the love, because they've been holding it down and hosting this thing and making it dope. So I've been sitting in the chat watching. So thank you again for having me. It's been brilliant, and I'm sitting in the chat watching and rocking all the chat.
Wow, those humbling words.
Thanks for your support. Yes,
appreciate it.
Before you go,
yeah, where can people find you, Khalif? Where can people find you?
Spawn on Me drops every Monday. New episodes you can find on every podcast platform on the planet. Check out Spawn on Me with Khalif Adams. I'm also hosting a show on NBCLX called The People's Pregame. So you can check that on Peacock TV and NBC. So you can go see that on your television screens. That's the last episode is going to be dropping on this Saturday. So you check that out. It'll be on 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. So go check that out and check out the rest of the show.
Wow, doing amazing
Awesome.
things.
You guys go support Khalif.
Absolutely.
All right,
wow,
we are going
that little
to-
drop at the end.
Oh, well. Okay, so that was incredible having Khalif on. He's been on our show before, and he's doing the damn thing. He's doing amazing things out there, creating spaces, talking about things that people aren't talking about, especially like our influence in the game industry, where you wouldn't even think about it. And the one thing that came to my mind was like Grand Theft Auto. So much of our music, so much of our vibe is in that game, and people don't really. I don't think people really give us our props for it. You know what I mean? So I love that his show is focused on doing things like that.
Absolutely. I can't say enough that if you haven't tapped in with Spawn on Me podcast already, definitely give it a listen. You heard it from Khalif that it's 9 years running, so there's so many episodes, a backlog of episodes for you to check out and become familiar with, and then that drop with the Peacock TV feature, like what over here doing really amazing things.
That was dope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of all of us. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's go to the trailer. I hope you guys saw that incredible trailer. That was beautiful. Just the gameplay was great. But let's go ahead and bring on our next guest, Jordan Scott, so he can tell us more about his game.
Yes, and I'll be on the 1s and 2s with the controller.
Hello, Jordan.
What's up?
Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, there you go. I see that Attack on Titan poster in the background.
Wow, but you don't see the Hunter x Hunter poster. I see how it is.
only his like hand. I wasn't sure what that was.
No, that's fair. How you guys doing?
Doing well. The immediate aggression that came at the start of
I know. I clutched my
trying to
pearls. Did y'all see that?
Anime the respect it deserves. Okay.
Yes. No,
listen,
it's nothing but vibes.
I love anime. Have you ever heard of Escaflowne?
No, so I'm the fake. Actually, I'm sorry.
But Jordan, it's so great to have you on. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Your vibe is so nice. Everybody's vibe has been nice, by the way. I know you guys are watching. I liked everybody's vibe. But your vibe is so nice. I just had to throw that out there. I want you to come in for me. Don't get me beat up, Jordan. Don't get me beat up. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Jordan. I'm working on an action game called Arbiter. I'm 27. I've been making games since I was like 17, I would say. Mostly just fan games. And then, so I guess I made a Dragon Ball fan game. I made a Pokemon fan game. And then I made a fan game based off of an animated show called Ruby. And I actually got hired for that one. So I worked on that for a bit. And then we finished, and then I left, and now I'm here.
I think I know Ruby. It was 3D animated, right? It was the girl with the red hair?
Yeah. Yep.
See, I know stuff. Anyway.
You know more than I do.
The game looks absolutely incredible, and I can see like some of the influence from working on Ruby, like the character design and things like that. And it's beautiful. So one of my questions was, how did it feel going from making video games to being hired on to do Ruby and now to be making this game?
Okay, so I will answer that. I will say something. Derek, it'll probably help if you press, I think it's R3 to lock on. I forgot to put that in the little button prompt thing. But there you go,
I was vibing. We're all good.
Okay, cool. So how did I go from like just working on my own stuff to working in like a professional environment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was fun. I mean, it was obviously jarring because you go from having like full creative control to like, okay, now you're with a team and you have people to answer to and you have deadlines and you have to do things a certain way. But it was good. It was effectively because I got hired like shortly after high school, so it was effectively my like school because I was working with a lot of like professional people who knew a hell of a lot more than I did. So I kind of took that as an opportunity to learn as much as work. So yeah.
It looks so good. Like I can tell that they taught you,
Thank you.
a lot. Not that you're not talented on your own, because you absolutely are, but this looks really good. I keep giving myself disclaimers. I don't know. You made me nervous after I didn't know what that anime poster was.
No, it's all good.
This is incredible. Like just the flow of the environment. So I know I mentioned that I could see some like influences from Ruby, and we all know now that you are a huge fan of anime. Are there any other influences for this game?
Okay, so as far as like games are concerned, I would say the two big ones are Kingdom Hearts and Devil May Cry. Because Kingdom Hearts is like my kind of like bread and butter. It's basically like my Bible for action games. It's what I grew up on, and it was like my first exposure to them. So just like the kind of like very accessible and kind of like intuitive combat of Kingdom Hearts was something that I always really enjoyed. Oh shit, did it break? Sorry.
It's okay. We'll reload if I...
Okay. As you can tell, I've given Derek a very early build.
No, we're lucky to play it. We're excited to play it. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Kingdom Hearts and Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry just because it's crazy and there's just so much you can do with its combat system. That was something I very much wanted, because Kingdom Hearts is fun, but it's also, it has Disney characters. They're not going like as crazy hard as I would necessarily want them to.
Right.
Yeah. Otherwise, then there would be the anime inspirations, and those would be like Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball, and I'd say that stuff like affected everything from like character design to like the style of storytelling, I guess, because I'm very much like I like storytelling in my games. So lots of inspiration from lots of different places.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the storytelling, because I love like good narrative design. So I am going to be interested in playing your game and like learning more about the characters and the story. Without giving away too much, can you tell us a little bit about the story?
Oh yeah, totally. So this actually this works pretty well for the build, because basically, the story of Arbiter is that spirits are basically like these demonic enemies that have just arisen from the world and putting humanity in kind of like Attack on Titan. They put them in this kind of like corner of space. But two of them have decided to help the humans and effectively give them their powers so that they have a chance to fight back. So those two are actually the two that are following Derek around as he's playing. And the goal, I guess, of the game is that your predecessor was basically defeated, and the predecessor was, a person called the Arbiter, who is the person who hunts down these spirits, and they were defeated. And so all the spirits they had sealed inside of themselves and defeated have been released back into the world, and now her successor, who's this character, is now hunting them down. And so what you're seeing actually is essentially every time you defeat one of the bosses in the game, you get the ability to kind of half transform into that boss. So if you see Derek switching characters, he's basically switching from the main character, who's named Ash, that to Ash, yeah, and he's using their souls to kind of basically change the entirety of the combat. So you can see he's very focused on swordplay in his default state. But then if he switches to one of the other transformations, he'll get claws he can attack with. The other one, as you saw recently, is projectile focused.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so the main pull of the game is basically they are traveling around the world to hunt down these spirits and kind of steal their powers.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I'm excited for this. So I know we don't have any environment. I don't know what's wrong with me.
We have nothing.
I know. Every time you start laughing, it makes me laugh. Okay? No,
I laugh when I'm nervous, so that's just how I process.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay, but so one of the things I noticed is there's not any environment right now, right? I know there's going to be environment later. Does this take place in the past, the future, or is it can you tell us a little bit about the world itself?
Yeah. So I would say it's basically Western Naruto. It's there's not really any technology whatsoever. Characters are very community focused and very just not very technologically dependent. So kind of Middle Ages sort of deal. But it has as you can see with kind of the character's design, it has Eastern influences as well. So lots of flowy coats and sashes and hair, but they're still going to be fighting with broadswords and armor and stuff like that as well. So, yeah.
Gotta love a good broadsword.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So one
I'm gonna throw it to Derek.
Yeah.
Sorry, Derek.
One benefit to you're all good. One benefit to the environment right now, or the prototype that we're seeing at this moment, is allowing to focus in on all the gameplay. I have my controller here, and everything feels tight and frenetic, and the action is so cool to jump into. What kind of work went into some of the visual effects, some of the timing, anything that you could share there?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of work goes into it, I guess. My, I guess, background is in animation. So animation is kind of the thing, I would say the thing that I like focusing on. So for me, it's just the money I received from the Black Developer Fund was directly to create the different transformations that you're playing as right now. And what that entails is essentially 2 months of just animating this character until he has about 200 animations or so per transformation. And so from an animation perspective, that's kind of what the workload looks like. And then for effects and stuff, I totally forgot to mention, but the game has like a pretty central mechanic in its light and dark form. So you actually have the ability to transform between your light and dark powers. And in Derek's case, as he switches between them, he'll gain access to different abilities, right? So for the effects, I'm actually able to kind of reuse a lot of stuff, like pretty consistently between the enemies and the character, because they're all kind of pulling from the same power source, as it were. And so from that perspective, it's not that bad. I would say the biggest thing, the biggest amount of work would be animation, and then obviously environments, because I haven't gotten to them yet.
I mean, but you'll get there. No worries. You'll get
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
And after people see you on this, you probably like, are you working on this by yourself, or do you have like a small team?
I'm pretty much working on it by myself. I will be hiring like an audio engineer, and I do work with concept artists for the characters and enemies. But otherwise, yeah, pretty much all me.
Yo,
That's incredible.
that's
I
what's
just
up. I know
discovered
that
you
came
can
out really slow.
You just discovered what? Sorry.
I just discovered that you
Well,
can
thank
like
you.
rapid fire switch between dark and light modes, which adds just a new layer
Oh, yeah.
of gameplay, gameplay tactician.
Hmm. Yeah, like I'm a huge proponent of basically having all your tools available to you at all times. So for me, like being able to just switch characters, obviously you can't do it right now, but eventually I want to be able to like switch like transformations like mid combo very easily.
Yeah.
But being able to just switch characters, switch between light and dark, switch between abilities, switch between ground and air, all of that, just to give a very strong sense of control when you're playing. That stuff's very important to me.
Man, the animation and the effects are so beautiful. Like, I'm captivated, even without an environment. You know what I mean? No, I'm serious. It looks really, really good. It makes
I
me very
appreciate that.
excited
Thank
for
you.
what's to come. Yeah. No. You could have like
Thank you.
blobs in the background. I'd be like, oh my God, it's so nice.
That's really great. Yeah, we
Thanks.
do just have a little bit of time left, but I wanted to
Mhm.
give you an opportunity to share with those who are also looking forward to this game. Where can they stay tapped in with it? Where can they find out more?
So there's arbitergame.ca, which will give you a link to everything. My Twitter handle is at Jordy_J_S. And pretty much, yeah, Twitter and Discord are like my places. So I will be giving tons of updates in there pretty regularly. So if you're interested, come check it out.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
come.
absolutely.
Are you going? We're all going. We're all going. We're
Yes.
gonna be there.
Thanks.
Oh man. Wow. That
was
was
incredible.
That was dope to see. Yeah, like he's basically just doing that by himself. But guys, we have some more trailers to show you. And I know you're going to be really excited to see some of them. I know I'm excited to see some of these trailers because I always love seeing the stuff that is coming from Black creators in the game industry. How do you feel about it, Derek? I know there's a special trailer on there of a certain game that
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah, I mentioned it a little bit earlier that my studio might have something. Well, we do. There's no. We do have a trailer in there, so there will be some latest footage from Own Semester, which you can look forward to. But to get to answering your question, trailers. I love trailers. Oftentimes, my favorite part of any sort of game event is getting an opportunity of seeing what's coming or new updates from the studio to just continue building that momentum for anything else to look forward to. So yeah, this is going to be. I mean, I don't have any favorites here. All these segments have been great. This is going to be one of my favorite segments.
They have all been great. All the guests have been absolutely incredible, and I love that they took the time to come on and talk to us about their games. Like, you guys are rocking it, and you're one of the reasons why Black Voices in Gaming is as great as it is. I know we thank our sponsors, we thank the people who help put us together, but also you coming on and showing your talent has been such an incredible inspiration for people who want to get into the game space, for kids who might find us on YouTube, like seeing other people that look like you doing amazing things in the space that you want to be doing things in is so powerful, so very, very important. So big ups to you. Congratulations on all the work that you've done so far. It's all been beautiful. And that goes for past guests and future guests. Like, I'm excited to see what else we're going to be showing. And I'm excited to meet more incredible people. Like, it brings a tear to my eye. I don't want to be like all emotional and stuff. So I'm not going to be, but it does make me really happy.
Are you going to cry? Are you going to cry on stream?
No. You know, I ain't gonna cry. I'm fine. I'm tough. What?
It would be dissimilar to me crying on Burnout Brighter podcast. So yeah, if you go back and you look at the
thought you said
featured in
Burnout Brighter head.
Oh no!
I know. That's not what you said.
That's a completely different podcast. Anyways, the point being,
I'm sorry, guys. That was a blooper.
The point being, there would be some great clips from the blooper reel. No, I was saying, yeah, if you do go back and you check out that episode, yeah, I do break down after having answered an emotionally evocative question. So there you go.
I didn't ask that question, so I don't know what he's talking about. But honestly, with everything that's been going on, and we're going to touch base on it a little bit, like, let's just be real honest. The shooting in Buffalo, the continued racial profiling and issues that we're having, not just in America, but around the world, have made this a very tough time for everyone. So having Black voices in gaming come on is just such a bright spot. And there are people who don't understand it. Like, I've seen some comments like, oh, like, this just continues the divide, but it really doesn't. It's just showcasing us, and it's us supporting us. And I think that's important. We have to support each other, and that is what Black Voices in Gaming is about. Would you agree, Derek?
100%. There isn't anything that you said that it is to be argued, at least from this seat here. We are better when we're capable of building together and capable of showing the things that we're interested in building. So being allowed to join Black Voices in Gaming and be able to talk with all of these developers and content creators shows that there is value for these games and podcasts and any other content in between to be that there's a community ready to receive it.
And there is. I mean, and I just want to point out, it's not just been like, oh, okay, guys, ready for the trailers. Let's get it rolling.
a waste of time.
I turned a man to a beast right in front of me. The only warmth that I see steams from his sleeve so bloodily. He's naked, see a black man pounding the pavement. Every crack in the ground is a burden. He's taking the place in bets, spending their jets. Thin-haired bastards craving sweat, salivating on a human marionette. Nervous fingers grip the cage they build and shake it. I want this man to help me break it. If not for me, for himself. But I doubt that the tortured is aware of this health. I want wealth, cause the goal of this age is to be the pattern evil out there wrapped in the cage. I want help, if not for us, for our kin, and the little dead is dead before they ever begin. I want wealth, cause the goal of this age is to be the pattern evil out there wrapped in the cage. If not for him, for myself, a whole river of heads. This is why I want wealth, so I can see our masters dead.
Made a pact with myself, I'll make it to Shambhala. Hope I'm invited, my frequency's like a Gotham. I made a pact with myself, I'll make it to Shambhala.
Right.
They think that love is a song that goes like
Luna.
Even in the darkness of night, the moon is always shining.
Heartbeats, the kick drums,
Elimination.
Veins bleeding, the melodies like playing keys. Focus on how it fits. Envision making it rich. Don't just be saying please. If heartbeats and the kick drums, veins bleeding, the melodies like playing keys. What you think is the mix? Focus on how it fits. Make it more than a wish. Don't just be saying please.
Victory.
Incredible.
Oh, stop.
Wait, jump from the top rope.
I did it to him. Wow. You got any words for those trailers?
Listen, like, they were all so good, especially the one with the bathhouse. Like, I really like that one a lot. But all of them are really, really incredible. Like, I love that we had a chance to show all of them, and I hope you guys are interested in playing some of those games. And if you are, make sure you wishlist them.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was Onsen Master, Grid Force, El Paso Elsewhere, BPM Boy, and Samurai Zero for you all to check out. We are getting to the end of our show. And so as we come to the end of Black Voices in Gaming, we want to acknowledge those whose lives have been lost in the acts of violence towards the Black community. Our hearts go out to the families and friends of those affected by the devastating Buffalo, New York shooting. Tragedies like these continue to darken and threaten our peace, but we will continue to push forward, fight, and create places for ourselves in this world. We have a right to be here, be seen, and heard. Black Voices in Gaming continues to create safe spaces and opportunities for those who wish to be in the industry. It's been the theme of the show. We've been talking about this throughout.
That's right. Thank you so much, Derek. You're absolutely right. We've had some great guests today, but we couldn't end it without taking a moment to highlight why having this show during June was such a fantastic feat. June has always been summertime kickoff vibes for me, yet it's also a time of celebration in the African American community. Juneteenth is a federal holiday celebrating the emancipation of enslaved people years after the Civil War on June 19th, 1886. Being here on today's showcase, highlighting some of the industry's most talented voices in gaming is an incredible accomplishment. We're all very proud to be a part of it. That being said, we would also like to thank our partners before we end. A shout out to those who helped make this event: Raw Fury, PlayStation, ID at Xbox, Intel Game Dev Boost, Razer. We'd also like to say thank you to our team, Wilmer Sound, the Mix team, and Media One, our broadcasting partners, Twitch Gaming, IGN, Steam, and GameSpot. Also, we would like to thank you for joining us, and for all of the devs for coming on and showing their special wares. We've also got merch available if you guys are interested. It's available at our roboroba.gg/themix. So go out there, support us.
Get the merch. Get the merch.
Get the merch. And wish list the games.
Yes, wishlist. Can't say that enough. Wishlist helps game devs. And speaking of, The Mix has an event page on Steam to learn more about Black Voices in Gaming titles, buy the available games, or add them to your wish list. Again, they help the devs a ton. If you'd like to keep up with the Black Voices in Gaming family, you can follow Black Voices in Gaming at BVI Gaming on Twitter and check out the games at blackvoicesinggaming.org. You can also follow The Mix on Instagram, on Twitch at Media Indie Exchange, and on Twitter at Indie Exchange. That's like the end of our show. That's all we have.
That is pretty much the end of our show. But do you want to plug your socials again so people can follow you?
Before I do that, I have to thank you, Des, for the time that I've got to share with you today. Thank all the developers and content creators who have joined us. To thank The Mix, thank Justin and everybody who has helped pull this show together. You got to get that out of the way first before I start talking about myself.
Got to get that out there. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm selfish.
Hey, it's okay to be a little selfish. If you want to keep up with me, if you want to keep up with Onsen Master, you can find me at Derek V Fields on social media. You can follow up with the games at Waking Oni Games, and that's across the board. So keep tabs on me there.
All right. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure sharing hosting duties with you, Derek. I cannot wait to work with you more in the future. If you'd like to know more about me, you can find me over at the Burnout Writer Podcast or on Twitter at DMVC32. Stay tuned for a quick message from Justin about our upcoming events and news, and we will see you all in the next showcase. Deuces.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Derek and Destiny. You guys are so amazing. We also want to thank you for coming through and checking out Black Voice in Gaming. You can check out the folks who are a part of the BVIG community at blackvoiceandgaming.org and on social media at BVI Gaming. We will have more events and showcases soon, as well as announcements for our BVIG nonprofit program and accelerator. Please support the devs by following them on their socials, wish listing, pre-ordering, and buying their games faux show. Stay tuned later this week because we will be hitting you with the Guerrilla Collective 3 on Saturday, June 11th at 8 a.m. PST, 11 a.m. EST. And we're dropping another bomb with the Guerrilla Collective 3.5 on Monday, June 13th at 1 p.m. PST and 4 p.m. EST. Yes. Thanks for joining us. We will see you soon. Again, this is Justin Woodward. We're out.